Well, I'm going to show you how to preserve your herbs in olive oil. And I did say herbs, you know. Some Americans, well, a lot of Americans say herbs. So I guess if your name is Herb, they call you Herbster, really. Anyway, let me show you how to preserve your herbs for a very long time, that you can just pop into anything like stews or soups, or just use the oil and herb as a base for cooking. So let's go do it. Just cut off a bit of basil. This is prime time for the oils in the basil, because basically in probably about another week and a half, 2 weeks, they'd start to send out seeds or flowers. So it's at its prime now. This is oregano. That's right, not oregano, oregano, which I'm going to use to freeze as well. And this is some thyme. This smells unbelievable. All right, I shall go and process this, then show you what I do putting them into the ice trays. Now to process the leaves of, this is oregano, just simply hold it about 3/4 up and pull down the leaves. The top part of them would be quite tender, so just pull them up like that. Same thing, just about 3/4 up, just pull down on the leaves. And like I say, the top parts are quite tender. Right, let me finish this and I'll come back and show you. All right, so I've pulled off, this is only a very small amount of oregano, but enough to go in the ice trays. So there's nothing complicated. You can see they're just the leaves I've pulled off. Just spread it out into your ice trays, evenly if you can. Nothing really complicated, just try and balance it out. It's a bit much in some of the others. And you will see in a second, this is a really simple process. Okay, so I'm going to get the olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil. Now, do I need to open this? I probably do. Give me a couple of seconds. Alright, so I'm about to pour the extra virgin. Nothing wrong with the extra virgins if you can afford them. And pretty simple, really. All you do is add the olive oil. You don't need to worry about is it got to be full. You can do, it depends how much herbs you're going to put in there. Alright, let me finish doing this and I'll come back and show you. Olive oil in there, just give it a little bit of a shake. Use the back of a teaspoon, you see what I mean? You just want to get most of them covered with the oil. So what this is so simple. Like I say, you can put a bit of summer in the freezer. The beauty of having them in olive oil is that they come out little cubes. You can add whatever amount you like to, or you can use the olive oil with the infused herbs if you were just cooking, say, a stir fry or anything. Eggs, doesn't matter, but you'll see when these are frozen what they look like. This is thyme, very similar process. Up the top of the plant is quite weak, but that's okay, come about 3/4, just pull. And there you go, very simple. Like I say, the further you go down, the woodier it is, but that's natural for herb. And you can just, if you want to, pick the top bits off. And I'll finish doing the rest of the time and show you the same thing I just did with the other one. I'm going to process the basil. This is only one stem, but it's plenty. All I'm going to do is pull the leaves off, and because they're going to go in an ice tray, it'll be big, so I will, oh, you should smell, this is unbelievable. The oils and the aroma coming off the basil are superb. So I'll process it and I'm going to chop it up. I'll show you that in a second. Put all the leaves off that I want, and now I'm just going to chop them up. Not to any specific order, but just smaller, so they can fit in the ice cube. Oh, the smell coming off this basil is absolutely brilliant. I've done previous videos showing you how to dry basil, which is really simple. All you do is pull the whole plant out if you want to do this, wrap a bit of string around it, hang it upside down inside a cool but dry area, and just leave it for 4 to 5 weeks. It'll go crispy, and all you have to do is get a big plastic bag and crunch it. Like I say, I've done a previous video. I'm just going to chop this up a bit finer, and then this is all going to go into the ice tray as well. With this ice tray, I'm going to put in there's 12, so I'm going to put 6 of thyme and 6 of basil. So let me just finish doing this and I'll show you the end. That's the basil and this is the thyme, so we want 6 of each. Oops, a bit of thyme into where the basil will go. Just balance it out. If you can see a bit too much in one tray, take it out, put it in another one. Pretty obvious. Same with the basil. So like I say, this is not complicated, it's not hard. I prefer fresh vegetables, but at certain times of the year, if you're in a cold climate, you won't be growing basil. Things like parsley, thyme, rosemary, all sorts of other herbs. You can actually have snow fall on them and they still would be okay. I know when I was a child I used to dig under the snow where the parsley was. I just pull out whatever parsley I was needed. So there we go, pretty simple. And I'm now going to pour the olive oil in these. So, like I say, when you think about what you're doing, you are preserving your herbs. This means at any time during, we're coming up to winter now, any time in winter you would like to have some herbs that you're not growing in your garden, just pull out one of these ice cubes. I'll finish doing this and then tomorrow, when they're frozen, I'll show you what the end product looks like. Okay, they're now frozen. I'm just going to take some of these out. There it is. Here, these are a couple of oregano. And these are some thyme. Also going to knock a couple of these basil out. Should do. So you can see they're just frozen in the trays. And they're frozen in olive oil. So I'm now going to use these, a couple of basil, a couple of thyme and a couple of oregano. I'm going to make a stew. And I should use these as the base. So that's it. Very simple. These are just frozen in olive oil. A very simple, effective method of preserving your herbs, or herbs if you like, for a long time. So if you have been, thank you for watching. Alright, so this is how I actually use them. I'm just going to put them straight into the pan. You'll see, because it's olive oil, this is what I would have used anyway to start off. I'm going to cook some mushrooms. But as you can see, they're starting to melt, and that's just one of the things I use them in all sorts of cooking. Put them in stews as they are, actually, just to add a bit of extra flavour. But give it a go. It's something that you can do. And you can have basil in the middle of winter, for example. Okay, bye-bye.